Well, welcome to Modeling Time with me, Brian Banna, and another installment in the Tangent N7 Caboose build. In the last video, I got the ends barricade striped in red and white. Since that video, I have clear coated the ends to seal in the paint and protect it. So in this video, I'm going to mask off the barricade stripes and get the caboose in a neutral primer gray to neutralize all the colors that were sprayed on it, the red, basically the reds, so they don't bleed through, and they're not going to, but I just like to get it all neutralized, and then get the green on. So first off, what I need to do, inside there are 3 holes or 3 locations to drill for the vents on the roof, so I got to drill those out. The roof vents and the smoke jack will not be put on yet. Those are going to get painted black. What else? Other than that, oh, and I have to put this water fill. I think it's a water fill nozzle or the water fill pipe in right here. So I have to do that. And then mask off the ends and get it all painted. So right now, that's what's on the plate for this video. All right, so I'm set up here. And real quick, I want these lines or these parting lines to be very, very sharp. So I'm going to use bare metal foil, or actually Tester's chrome foil, and I'm going to mask these edges and cut a nice sharp line right there, as well as on this side, because this plate sticks out a little bit. I want, if I were to use regular masking tape, like Tamiya masking tape, when I painted the red on these ends, the edge of this plate was got painted red. So I want to mask the barricade stripe portion off with bare metal foil, which is really, really thin, which will allow the green to cover up that red edge. So I'm going to get to doing that right now, and we'll see what the results are like. All right, so this is the old Tester's Model Master. It's called ultra thin chrome foil, chrome with a K. You can't see that too good because it got blotted out, but it's the 50637C. But again, you can't get it anymore. I found a warehouse that had like 8 packages of it, so I bought them all out because I use this stuff a lot. Well, maybe not a lot, but I do use it. But I can understand why a lot of the car modelers didn't like it, but it's great for masking. So it's, when you cut it, you have to use a really sharp knife, because a dull knife will tear the edges. So this is a new blade. So basically, to cut it, I just find that the width that I want, and I'll do it like that. Then I'll just go over it with as much knife as possible. You only need to do it once, and then I'll go and I'll mash the edge down so it's nice and sharp. And then basically, I can't see, I gotta put my optivisors on here, and then I'll just, like, for instance, I'll cut a piece off, lift the edge. See, this one's not lifting too good. Lift the edge. That tore a little bit right there, and that's because it was grabbing tight on the edge there. And then I'll just take a piece like that, and for instance, if I want to tape along this edge, I'm going to redo this, but I'll just show you real quick. What I do here is I'll just get my toothpick out here, put it on the edge there, and burnish it into the burnish it into the edge. Then I'll take my scalpel knife, right down the edge, take the toothpick, just clean it up, you have a nice sharp edge like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get that masked, get all these 4 corners masked, and then on the inside here I'm just going to use some Tamiya tape. I got the 3 sizes that I like to use, and I'll use the Tamiya tape to tape off the inside edges, or the inside surfaces. Alright, I've got the ends all taped off. I did the perimeter in chrome foil and then finished it off with some Tamiya tape. I've got the holes drilled for the vents, and I have the firecracker antenna installed. So now it's time to go. Oh, and I also have the water fill. It's either water or fuel. I can't remember what. I'll have to look at that, but not concerned about it right now. But I've got that installed also. So right now I'm going to put a coat of light primer gray on it. Actually, it's Tamiya Sky Gray, to unify all the color, and then I'll put the Century Green on it. Alright, so I've got her all in what I use for primer gray, the Tamiya Sky Gray, and it's flat. And so I mix it 1 part paint to half part thinner. I use Mr. Hobby, Mr. Leveling Thinner, and put a nice light even coat on it. So now I'm going to let this dry for about another hour. It's been drying for about an hour right now. So I'm going to let it dry for another hour, and then I'll shoot the True Color Paint Century Green on it. Okay, well, let's do the big reveal. Let's see if my masking worked or if I screwed it up. So this is the True Color Paint Jade Green. I kept thinking it was called Century Green, but True Color Paint calls it Jade Green. So let me get my tools out here, and let's see what it looks like. Oh, I hope it turns out well. I don't want to have to repaint anything. Let me... There, how's that? Oh, okay, here we go. So far, so good. But that was all just the cover-up paint, not the edge paint or edge masking. So far, I really like how the edge is turning out. little glue got left behind, so I'll take a piece of tape here. There we go. Just use the tacky side of the tape if any glue gets left behind. See a little spot I need to touch up. Right there, when I was peeling the tape off, I hit it too hard, so that'll be easy. I'll just mask over a little bit, and I'll just use a little bit of True Color paint on a paintbrush and just dab it. Don't brush it, just dab at it. Masking is one of those things that takes a long time to do, and it's kind of boring and tedious, but if you do it right, you get rewarded when you take it off. So far I just got that little tiny nick right there, and everything else is looking really nice. After I get this side off, I'm going to turn the camera off and get all the rest done. It's kind of difficult working at it at this angle, but we'll see how it all looks together. So far, not too bad. Okay, I see a few spots that I need to touch up. See if I can get it on here. There's a little bit of peel up here. A little bit right there. And then of course where this one happened right over here. So now I understand why, I like true color paint, and then sometimes I don't, because if this was Tamiya paint, this green, that peel up and that peel up would have never happened. But it's true color paint, so sometimes that happens. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of this done. I'm going to touch up those areas, and we'll show you the results at the end. Alright, so I have all the touch-up done. So there's what the ends look like. I had to do a little red touch-up, a little white touch-up, and green, but it's all taken care of. The way that I did that is I just masked the edge that needed, to be protected, and then touched up what needed to be touched up. When you use true color paint for touch-up for just little small areas like I had a little bit here, on both ends. You can't brush it on like in brush strokes. You have to dab it on. And if you dab it on and you need a little bit more, you have to let it dry first and then come back and dab on a little more. Otherwise, what you just put on will just pull off with the brush. So, and it was very small amounts, so I was able to dab it in there a little bit and get it all filled in. So there's how it's looking. There's the other end. And so I've got the ends painted, the body painted, the interior painted. I have the firecracker antenna on. I have the fill on, and I painted the cap black, and I drilled the holes out for the vents. So now all that's left is to get all of the details on, get the roof walk on, get the vents on, get all the grab irons on, get the platforms on the end. Now all of this is going to be black down here. The step edges will all be yellow, and I'll probably do those with decals. I don't know. What's nice is the steps are etched, so I can actually paint them first, maybe put the yellow on, mask it, and then do the black on the steps. But I'll figure out how I want to do that first. But the next step is to get the sill painted black and all of this painted black, and of course the other end, and then I can go do all the details. But that's pretty much all in one shot. All the details, paint the black ends, because these vents have to be painted black, and so on and so forth. So anyway, that's how she's looking. And it looks pretty good on the car. See if I can get the car. Oops, doesn't have the trucks on it, but here's what it's looking like on the car. The trucks aren't screwed on yet. So, alright, so that takes care of this video. And you saw in the last clip, the body's painted, the interior's painted, the barricade stripes are on the ends. Now it's time to move on to all the finishing touches. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm really excited about this model, and I'm really excited about getting it done. It'll be a while before the next video. I want to let this paint set up and cure really, really good, and then I have to figure out how I'm going to do and paint, hold all the little grab irons and stuff and paint them. I have an idea what I'm going to do, but I want to procrastinate a little bit and stuff. I got other things that I'm working on, so I'm kind of fitting everything in as I go. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. If you watched it all the way to the end, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.